Okay, looks like we've got one channel up and working. Let me make sure. That's kind of weird. I'm trying to see why we have, hang on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Here it is. Okay. Anytime you want to let me in. Let me in. Hang on a second. I gotta love technology for what it is. We get the chat open. We're having a little bit of a hiccup with technology today. It had me logged into the wrong account because my computer went through an update, of course, right before my live. And you can't go back in and be like, hey, wait, go back, go back. Hi, Georgiana. How are you? Okay, let me go in here, refresh this, make sure. It looks like we're live in all the places. Okay, we're good. So today, our inspiration for tonight's design. We're going to the seashore. So I was playing with the design elements today. So I always like take things out and I play with everything that I have and try to come up with, would this look good if I did this? Should we add the sign? Should we not add the sign? So this was my inspiration. All the colors, the dark blue, the greens, and all that stuff. So we're doing a totally different wreath. I was going to say I kind of did one a little bit like this, but that was above the water. So now we're going below the water. So I can't wait to show you what I'm going to show you how to make. Before we get started, if you want to save this tutorial and you're on YouTube, just click the save button. Super simple. They just make everything super simple for all of us. If you're on Facebook, you're going to need to click the share button. It'll take it from my Facebook page, put it on your Facebook page like a copy paste, and then download it from there to your Facebook page so you don't lose it. Because after 30 days, Facebook deletes them. That's just their new thing now. But you can still always catch them on YouTube. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there are 2 places to see videos on YouTube. I didn't know this. One, if you just click on the regular, like if you're going to my page, my channel, KatsCreationsNMore, and you look and you have content, a lot of times there isn't an awful lot of fresh content there. Why? Because I'm going live. So you have to click the live tab and then you'll find all the tutorials there. I wish they would just put it in one. That's going to be my recommendation to YouTube. Can you put them all in one place so everyone can find them? So make sure that you check both spots for any recent updates on videos. So if I'm going live Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll go to the live tab. Facebook people, if you want to get notified when I am going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, make sure you've clicked the followed button and the like button. I think the like is there. The follow button's hidden. So click the 3 ellipses next to like, go over the blue button and click on those 3 dots. It'll open up a sub menu. Go ahead and make sure you're clicked. You've got live notifications turned on. Then you're all set. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. That's all you need to do. See how simple it is? Subscribe, save. Wonderful. I have already put my website down below. We've got just a couple days left in the month of April, and I really want you guys to be able to take advantage of the private group. And I've made the deal a little sweeter. You can try it for 2 weeks for $1, and then if you decide to stay, it'll just go on auto billing at the current rate. It's $27 right now. That will be changing. So get in now, because once you're in, nothing changes for you. Doesn't matter whatever I decide to do, everything's the same for you. So come join us. So go to the website, KatsCreationsNMore.com, click on it. It's the very first link you come to, and then you can sign up on the trial membership. Whew. Okay, I'm going to pivot you down now, and we're going to start creating. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, I can't wait to see it, because I kind of like temporarily kind of put it all together, and then I was like, I really want to see what this looks like on a door. So let me just readjust my camera so I can make sure that all the angles are in there. So I am using a 22-inch oval grapevine, and this was a mess. I mean, the oval grapevines, for some reason, I swear, we should get those for free because of all the stuff we have to clean out and how long it takes us. So once you get all of your leaves, your branches don't belong there. Haven't found any critters yet, but that will be first one I do. All the like broken twigs, just weird things, you know, grapevines sticking out to the side, and it's just like it has no purpose going out there. Just trim it up so it's nice and smooth for you to work. Make sure you do the front and the back, because one side is going to rust up against the customer's door. So just, if you're not sure, run your fingers, like run your hands alongside them, feel for any like pokey places, and then go ahead and trim as desired. So I've taken the luxury, because ain't no one got that much time, of cleaning it for you. So that was my pre-prep work. And then the sign, it is from Wreaths, so it's either gonna be from Michael's or Walmart, and I'm not sure which. So this is going to be our starring attraction for this. But before I put the sign on, I want to get a couple of the greeneries that's going to go behind that in first. Let me go ahead and make sure that my arrow is pointy. It was like flipped down. So hi Heidi, welcome from Michigan. Hi Linda from North Carolina. Hi Joan from Virginia. You're more than welcome. Georgiana. Hi Nissy. I'm trying to make sure. And hi Valerie. So, okay, let's get started. So we're going to do an under the sea theme. This is going to kind of be like, hey, the sign would be like, if a diver was lost and he wanted to know which way the beach was, this sign would point him in the direction of the shore. But the rest of this is all going to be under the water. So we're going to have a lot of coral, and we're going to have a lot of greenery and seashells and starfish. And I think we have a seahorse. So that's going to go in here as well. So let's get started. Okay, first things first. We are going to start with some seagrass, which is called, let me find it. I have all my greenery here. Let's see, this is called needle grass, because I guess it looks like needle. So this is going to be a little bit of our seagrass for the seashore. So I had a couple pieces already pre-cut, and I was just trying them in to see, do you like it, do you not? And I love it. Let me see if I can find the other piece that is already pre-cut. I thought I had another one pre-cut. Yes, I do. Maybe no, I don't. Yes, it is. It's right here. Okay, so I'm going to take these. You can push them up. They only go up so high, but there's different varying pieces. You'd have to get them out of the way and get them all to go up in sequence. But as you can see, like that, it'll give me an actual pick to work with. So I'm going to let my seagrass come up kind of high. So right there, I have my glue skillet just off screen, so that I'm going to stick that in. And I think I wanted this to kind of go under. Let me get to my photo, because sometimes I take photos of all my stuff. Actually, let me pull this one out. Oop. And see, I got snagged on the grapevine curlicue. We're going to take it down just a little bit. I'm going to kind of tuck this in right about here. Because it is so tall, I don't want it to go up to the top. I want it to kind of come down here. So again, I'm going to push these up in the order so that I can have a pick at the bottom to glue. And we're going to glue this one in right about here, I think. Right there. So, nice little pieces of seagrass. I'm trying to think of where I got this. I think this is from Greenery Market. So I'm going to cut another piece. I'm going to kind of bring that in a little bit lower. Not too low though. Again, it'd be nice if you could just push them all up. But they've got these little tabs in them to keep them from going too far. So this is my seagrass under the sea. What do you guys think this is going to look like? Have you ever seen one? Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Karen. Elizabeth says, interesting grass. Yeah, it's called needle grass. So, like, sometimes when I'm looking for items to put in a fishing wreath, a forest wreath, a beach wreath, I like this because it resembles beach grass. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. Okay, so nice little seagrass. And then now I'm going to come in with, let me find the pieces. Oop, there's one. Where'd the other one go? Right here. Then we're going to take this, which is called, this is a, does it say? This says it is needle grass. So this, hold on a sec. It's not that. Oh, sorry, just seagrass. Just seagrass, and it's from Hobby Lobby. This is needle grass. So again, we're trying to resemble the ocean seafloor. So I'm going to take this because it's white, and I want to take this and kind of tuck this in behind my seagrass, just for dimension and color. And I'm going to bring this one in just like this. I might take one more and put it off to the, whatchamacallit, this side, to the left. To the left. And you can push this one up pretty high. So I kind of want to bring this one out a little bit. So normally I try not to leave the stems too full. Okay, and I'm just going to push that to the side. Just kind of feel like we're creating the aquarium backdrop, right? Alrighty, what else do we have here? Okay, I'm going to put that away because we've used that away because we've used that. I'm going to grab this because this is everybody's favorite. They call this bead fern. So everybody has this year, but it also looks very ocean-esque. So again, I'm going to come in. You can get that at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to kind of come in a little bit here with that. Okay. And I've got another one here, which is going to kind of come on the back side of my seagrass. Right in here. Okay. It looks so cute. All right. And I might go back and add other pieces. Then we're going to take this. I think it's just like, it's a long, elongated fern type piece here. And they have really long pieces, which are great because you get an awful lot in them, especially if you're going to cut them down and use them like I am. So I'm just going to cut them off in big pieces. Oops. Just like this. And I'm going to cut them down into small manageable pieces. Again, texture is everything. I'm going to cut this one down. We're going to bring these a little closer to the bottom because we're filling the bottom too. Okay, so right in here. Oops. bring one in over here, a little closer to the bottom. Just like that. Trying to make sure that I keep all my glue out of what I'm working on. Another piece I'm going to bring down here. So we're starting to cut, like move to the bottom, because I need to fill the bottom. Because in a sense, this is our sea floor. Now, as you can see right here, I don't have an awful lot to hold that there. So this is where binding wire comes into play. And binding wire is just paper wrapped wire. So it's going to allow me to go right here under this branch. And I'm going to secure this right here to my greenery to prevent it from falling off. Tuck that back in. And now I'm good there. We're going to also add in some maiden fern. This is also from Hobby Lobby. And we're going to bring that in a little bit closer. I'm going to kind of have this a little bit overlapping. Let me cut off the little end. So I remembered how I did this one. I went underneath and I kind of pulled one of my maiden ferns all the way through, just like this, so it fits kind of like half in, half out. I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers and kind of push that stem in a little bit more so it stays in where I've designed, just like that. And I have all these odds and end little pieces. So like this, I just had one. I'm like, ooh, that'd make a nice little interesting berry for the bottom of the ocean floor. So I'm like, okay. This is where, when you save all the things, it helps, because you might just need one piece. Like I just needed this one for right in here to make that the perfect fit. And then I have some more just free picks all over the place. I have another piece of that thing, and then the fern needs to come in on the other side. I'm grabbing all these. So like, these are all just like little pieces that I keep that have it has no plan, no purpose. So I'm just gonna add these in, because I think that ocean stuff should be like a little bit of mix, a little bit of here, a little bit of there. So like I said, I just had those 4. I'm gonna pull that one out, and I don't even know where I got them. That's the downside, is sometimes those little individual pieces you have, they're like, where'd I get that? Oh, I don't know. But it looks really cool. I want to put that in another wreath. I don't know where I got it. I'm going to make this one kind of come in here. Come up a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab these glue threads that are just finding themselves everywhere. The nice thing about having a glue pot is all this glue, I just pick it up, toss it back in my glue skillet, and let it remelt. Okay, again, odds and ends, just as you have them. They may not be ocean related stuff, but you know, throw them in there anyway. They look good. Okay, I'm going to cut this one down because I don't want something quite that big. I'm going to bring this in down here. Still working on the bottom. Just different odds and ends. And this one can't get them. I'll have to do them individually because they just don't want to stay where I want to put them. And we'll bring this one over just like that. I'm going to grab a little piece of my binding wire just to make sure that this does not go outside the edge. Binding wire works great. We use binding wire in our garden all this week for to train our blackberries to stay in place. And now I'm going to use these things. These actually came from Michael's, and there was only 3 of them all together. They were just like wrapped in this little stem, and I was like, ooh, that looks interesting. Let's put that in there too. So I'm going to cut the stem down, and I'm going to bring this in. Oop. Can I get that in? There we go. And I think the more textures, colors you can get for under the sea just look incredible. And I'm going to have this one. I think I'm going to bring this one right in. I'm trying to find a place for it. I had a place for it, but I'm trying to, like when I was playing with them and just laying things one on top of the other, I was like, ooh, that looks pretty. Okay, take a picture. And I do. If I am just like playing with textures and colors, I will take a photo so that I can come back and I'll be like, okay, how did I do that again? And then these are all little baby's breath picks that are all left over. So again, I'm going to take these and just kind of tuck those in, just willy-nilly. And do another one right in here. Okay. It doesn't want to go. It's being stubborn. There we go. I'll probably come in with our maiden fern and add that to the side. Let's add, since I had 4 of these, they were just like the random 4. So I'm like, let's just tuck them in because they're just nice. They have like these little pops of white. So it looks interesting. Okay, let's add the sign, and then we're going to add some other stuff. So this sign automatically has a little, it has a little, and I want this to kind of be a little bit like, it's kind of under some, but then kind of not. You still want to be able to read it, and I want it at an angle like that, okay? So let me show this to you. Look how cute this looks so far. Didn't that look cute? Deborah says, gonna go run over to YouTube and see who's there. Okay, so I'm not going to use this. So I'm going to remove it because I want to attach. Let's see if we can get all that. Yes, we were able to do that. These scissors are super, super sharp. Okay, there's that. Let's see if we can get that label off the back of this. Let's remove these little weird pieces. Okay. Since, now watch, because this label's been on so long, we might not be able to get it completely off. We'll try. We're just trying to help it along. It's so old, it's just kind of coming apart in pieces. But it's nice if I can get it all the way off. So I'm just trying to like pull the adhesive where the adhesive is sticking. Gotta be patient. Otherwise it'll just come off in a ton of pieces, which will just make the process so much harder. Okay. Come on, sticker. There we go. Almost there. I'm like, don't lose sight of the goal just yet. See? This is what we don't want it to do. Man, the older you have some of your signs, the more difficult it becomes trying to get them all off in one piece. So this is why I like using this tool. It is a label remover, and you can get them at Amazon, and you get 2 of them plus a ton of replacement razor blades, I think for like under 20 bucks, which is good. Let's go ahead and attach our sign or our card, business card. Gonna attach that right to the center using our glue gun. Okay. There we go. Making sure. Seashore. Okay. Want to make sure that it's going the right direction so it's easy to read and you don't have to tip your wreath up upside down. Okay. So knowing where this is going to stick, let me look again. So I can look for what I call contact points, right? That is where it's making contact with the grapevine. Okay, so I think I had it like that. So right underneath here and probably right at the beginning of our sign. So we'll flip that over. Grab a couple brown pipe cleaners and a staple gun, because this is just MDF, even though the outside is metal. So right at the start of our metal here. Nice little twist right at the metal here, because that's right where our metal begins. All done. Little twist so it doesn't come out. Let's reinforce that with a little bit of glue, just to make sure. It never hurts to add extras. And if you want to remove the little hanger things, you can just unscrew them. They just screw in. Okay, come on. You're almost done. I'm letting the glue dry too. So we'll unscrew those so we don't see them. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. So it's going to go right on this branch and kind of right up in this general direction. So I'm going to attach my sign. Again, another reason why we clean our grapevine is so when we go to drop our pipe cleaners in, hopefully they go right through to the other side. Trying to make it easy. I didn't really make sure I did even amounts on my other one. Here it is. Okay, so I've got this one and this one. Nice little twist. And because we want this one kind of facing up, I'm going to kind of go angled right about there. And bring this one up a little higher. I always look to see if I can find it. Yes, I did. But I want it angled. Let me see. Okay, there we go. There we go. Always make sure you have something to grasp it on. I don't know how many times I've done that before, where I go to tuck it in and it's air. It's just going on the air. So I'm going to take some of the longer grass, bring it in front, like right behind some of the longer pieces, just so that that looks nice and pretty. Okay, now we're going to embellish a bit. So in order to make this kind of fun and a little bit whimsical, we're going to add some coral elements to this. Let's tuck that. Can I get that under? Yes. So sometimes you just purchase the weirdest things at the weirdest times and you're like, that looks like it could go in a beach wreath. Can't tell you how long I've had that. So we are going to incorporate this. This is going to be a little bit of our coral or our seaweed, because as you know, it is super pretty under the sea. So depending upon how late it is, you might have access to being able to see some gorgeous coral. So I'm going to come in here, and I think I want that right about there, kind of tucked into the seagrass. So right in here. And we'll just have some things kind of going in different places. I'm going to take another piece and kind of angle this one in. Can we get that one in? Oh, okay. I had a leaf in the way. So right when I moved the wreath, or the leaf, it allowed me to be able to put that little piece of coral in. So we've got that. And then I have another fun piece of coral. Again, weird things you buy, and you think, doesn't that look like a beach wreath? So we're going to be adding some of this spiral, they call it spiral seagrass, and it kind of has these like little fun bubble elements on it. So it's got a fairly large pick at the bottom. So I'm going to do the same thing. Kind of lift this up and kind of tuck it into the grass a bit. Just like that. So we have some nice, beautiful seagrass. And let's add some starfish. Let's add some starfish. Cheryl says, I'm watching on YouTube and texting at Facebook. Heidi says, if you use your heat gun and heat up the label, it'll come off easier. Yeah, I do know about that. I just try to do that really super simple with the, because I have a heat gun out here. Because we're dealing with metal, I don't want to get the metal too hot. So Deborah says, rewards group. So yes, in my rewards group, there is a rewards group. It's $5 to join. And every month, the members who are collectively in the group will have the opportunity as a reward to at least win the opportunity to get a wreath. We always give away a wreath. And if we get a bunch of people, like I think when we first started it, I think we had like 40 members. We gave away wreath kits. We gave away a sign bundle. So it just depends. Right now, that is available on my website, KatsCreationsNMore.com. You have to scroll all the way down to the bottom to find it. And we are giving away... Deborah, do you know what we're giving away? I think we're giving away a beach wreath. And I think I posted a picture of it. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I think we are giving away the Mermaid Lagoon wreath that I made. So you can do that. I also have these really pretty sequined starfish. So this little guy is going to kind of go down here. I want to put a couple more pieces of the seagrass in first. So let me do that. Okay. We've got some craziness going on. I want to tuck a couple more pieces of the seagrass in. Let me use my pick machine here really quick on this maidenhair fern, just so it's easier for me to stick where I want it to go, which is basically right here. I just want to add a touch more greenery right around there. So by us adding the starfish in there, it's kind of pretty well covered. Whoops. And we'll add another little bit of baby's breath in there. Honestly, anything that looks like it would come. Let's see what else. I added one of these in. So let's cut this down. I'm gonna do this in here too. I don't know. This one is supposed to go up here. So I'm just tucking in some extra pieces, filling the grapevine. Let's take a piece of this. I generally don't even like to put picks that close to the bottom of my design because I don't want them to come out the other side. So I'm trying to go like pushing them in so they go in sideways. Okay, now we can put this little guy in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna glue him in. Touch points, right? Pretty much every single one of his arms on this design. So I have my glue gun in here. So he does have like a little bit of a well around the inside of him. So if I put glue on there, it's going to go inside the well and not where I want him to be. I want him kind of tucked in here. He's a foam starfish, so you can kind of push him in pretty good. But I kind of like that play on colors. We do have another piece of the coral. We're going to tuck this in. Oops. Over here. I actually want to get this one on top of that branch. So let's get that to go. Can we get y'all to complete, to kind of go in there? Still pulling out. Here's a challenge in doing a wreath like this, is because there's so many things with fingers, everything grabs onto that glue all the way around. Okay, I have one more starfish. This one has a little bit of a stem, so we're going to actually kind of tuck this guy in a little bit sideways. He does have a long pick, so it's going to kind of go off and out to the side like so. We have one on each side. Let me spin this around so you guys can kind of see what it's doing thus far. This is our Under the Seashore wreath. Okay, flipping it back around. We are going to add my seahorse. I only have one, and there's not much I can do as far as wiring him in here, but seahorses do like to rope themselves onto coral or onto seagrass, so he can go either way. Technically, I got him at Shinoda. He's a small little like plaster piece, so touch points obviously all the way along there. So we're going to go ahead and heavy glue him. Oops. Trying not to touch him too much. He's just going to kind of embed himself in there, just like that. Our nice little seahorse guy. I'm trying to keep it somewhat, I know that the blue starfish with the sequins isn't really like, if I was going realistic, I guess technically nothing with glitter on it would realistically go in there. But let's start adding some seashells and some starfish. I do have some of those already pulled out. So we have a little orange starfish for color. We're going to kind of bring him in, kind of tuck him in. I like hidden things. So if we can kind of hide them a little bit, oh, it's so much fun. Okay, so he is just going to kind of tuck in here. Like that. We have a little starfish. We have some scallop seashells that we're going to tuck in. Touch point right on the angel. Call them like the little wings. And that's going to kind of sit right in here. And we'll add some little baby snail shells. Like I'm trying really carefully to get them to sit, hopefully where they would naturally be. I know we're going to take, I'm going to pull one of these over here. Again, where does it touch? Apply your glue where it touches. So right inside here. And then we have this little snail shell. Hey, you. You're home early. Oops. I'm going to kind of tuck him down in here, right underneath our grass. I'm looking at... let's see. I'm looking for a bunch of different things. Like, we'll put some of these little cone shells in. I like them because they look like little unicorn horns. Trying to think of what else. Right, Deborah says, I can smell the ocean from here. That was my whole theme to this whole thing, was like, hey, we haven't done an ocean wreath in a long time. So I'm just kind of tucking in some odds and ends in here. Kind of looking like, where do I want to tuck these in? Like, they have to almost logically make sense. Like, I like this one over here under the maiden fern. I think that'll be our last one as far as the shells go. Touch point under the maiden fern, but slightly to the side. Okay. All right, I am just double checking for anything else that I want to add. There's a ton of other things you could do. You could add in, I hadn't thought about these. I was going to add in some pearls, just random places, like maybe there. I don't know. I like them. I'm going to put them in. I'll put it right next to the coral. And we'll do one on the other side, kind of right in here. So obviously they fell out of the oyster shells. That's logically what they would do. I'm just kind of looking, do I want to add any more seagrass or anything else to this design? Let's put in another pick on these. Let's put one on each side just to give it some fullness towards the top, like up in here. Or we can even do it down here. Ooh, I like it down there. But not under. Remember, we can push these up. So we can make the, I don't want it to hide the starfish, but I do think we need to add something here. Let's see. I can add that so it comes out to the side. Let me look. I do the same on the opposite side. I'm just looking. Sometimes you just got to find the right spot. Like that one is 2. There's a big branch right here that I'm fighting that wraps around the bottom. I might trim that down so it's not as thick, but I do like this. So I'm not going to pull it out. I'm just going to glue it over and take my last maiden fern, because I only have one, and I'm going to use this right here to kind of fill the openness that's there. Let me take a piece of this off. And I'm just going to tuck this in right inside just to help us camouflage the grapevine a little bit. Even though you can still see the grapevine up here, down here at least it still looks like it's part of our ocean. Okay, there's that. And I'm looking at this one. I like how he did that, but I just don't like how there's a couple pieces that stick out a tad too wide. Like they don't go in sync with the others. Let's see, can I get you to come up just a touch higher? Let's see. Sometimes it's just like I like it right there. Can we get it to stay there? You might have to use some binding wire. Let's see. I'm working with a branch limb that is in the way. Like if I put it right where I want it, it's really pretty. But if I poke it in, it comes out here. So I need it to stay in nice and tight. Okay, that worked. I just pushed it in. I moved it a little ways further down the branch and plopped it in. And so now I'm going to glue it in so I don't have to pull it out again. But there is our beautiful seagrass wreath. What do you guys think? Do you like the way it came out? I'm going to pivot you up. Linda says, love it. I'm a coastal girl. So ocean and sounds are all around my area. Yeah, I grew up right no more than we could ride our bikes to the beach. And then sadly, my parents decided it was time to move. Why? I don't know. I'm like, I should have never ever got rid of that house. I guess it was too small, but I thought it was perfect. So here is that. I don't have the luxury. I would like to be able to hang it up here so it's up a little higher. Hold on a second. I'm just looking looking, deciding if I want to add some other things, like, because I only have one piece of my seagrass left, but I'm seeing a hole. Sometimes you can't see it until you lift it up, but like I want to come in right here with that. See what a difference that makes? And then this is wired, so we can just lean it in. This is wired, so we can lean those in. Again, wired, so we can move it. But what do you guys think? Awesome. I'm trying to get rid of that picture.
I posted it both in YouTube and Facebook.
You did? Well, if you're here, you could just post in both. You could do it in both. Okay, perfect. It hasn't caught up on my end here. This is a different video. Crazy girl. Okay, so that is our This Way to the Seashore wreath. Right, Cheryl says I love this. I don't see this design often. So yeah. As Cheryl says, do you have the little clownfish that can go with the ocean coral? You know what's funny is when I started to add in some other colors, like I had a red lobster and I had a little dolphin. Like I was like, oh, we can add a dolphin. And then we can put a dolphin in here. I mean, I guess you could go, but then it starts, I don't know. I mean, I guess he could technically be, but look, he'd have to be a baby dolphin and those would have to be giant starfish. Yeah. But yeah, you can kind of come in here if you had a little bit bigger fish per se, because when you look at the scale to size, the seahorse is to scale. Same thing with the starfish and the seashells. They're all to scale. When you start adding things that are too big or too small, they kind of look out of place because they're not to scale. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Anyway, that's what we've made today. So that's what we're doing. Do you guys have any other questions that I can answer for you? Private group members, you'll get the materials list with the photo and video links so that if you want to recreate this, you will have all the item numbers and SKU numbers to do that. Anything else? Laura says, gorgeous, love the oval, love the color and the simplicity. Yeah, it was funny. I wanted to do a grapevine and I was like, all I have is these like weird, really narrow ovals. And I was like, and then I found the sign and I was like, sometimes that's just the way that designs go together, is you start with what you have, look at what you have available, what kind of design can you pull off. I knew I wanted to do beach because sometimes we get so distracted on doing holidays and seasons that we miss everyday items. Like this could be up on a beach home, it could be in a home that has coastal decor, and it's a year-round design. It can go with their home's decor. It can go in above their master bedroom. They could put it in their guest bath, whatever. It's just a super fun design. You could add it over a mantle. You can put it in your kitchen. So lots of uses when you're thinking of everyday items. And that's how you can stay relevant and not be so concerned when, like, after Memorial Day, there's like 4th of July and then there's like nothing. And it's like, oh, it's not nothing, because that's when you make the everyday things that people are looking to do. And now I think more people are going to like limit what their expenses are this year, especially with not knowing. So they might be staying home a little bit more and planning closer to home vacations. And if they're going to stay home, they're going to want their home to look nice. So hence making everyday items. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, everyone. Bye for now. That's weird. It shows we're still live, but my Mevo says it's disconnected, but I'm still live streaming. So I don't know. It's so crazy.